Hey YouTube. All right, I'm back. Today we're talking about a pretty famous and big topic in the world of learning drums, and that is, we're talking about rudiments. Rudiments are a huge topic that there's like two camps, I feel like. There's the camp that is adamant that you need to learn rudiments, and then there's the camp that's like, it's not appropriate, it doesn't matter, it's old, it's not in modern drumming, we shouldn't use it. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm not mad at those people, and I'm not mad at the people that are adamant that you have to learn them. I will say that there are great drummers who don't know all of their rudiments. I mean, phenomenal drummers who have gone on to be in huge bands or be in amazing recordings or play great gigs. And if you quiz them on some particular rudiments, like maybe the single Rudiment cue or something like that, they may not know what you're talking about. So it doesn't mean you're going to be a great drummer if you learn all the rudiments. And it doesn't mean you're going to be a bad drummer if you don't learn the rudiments. But where I fall into this kind of category is I think it's worthwhile. I think it's a really helpful asset and tool that drummers have in their toolbox, so to speak. And there's some really cool and amazing ways that you can apply the drum rudiments in a modern contemporary setting. But also if you're playing kind of, certain genres of music from the past, they work really well in that. And I'm thinking of certain big band kind of swing and jazz type stuff, second line, New Orleans style drumming, certainly blues. Those are some just off the top of my head, some genres where rudiments are almost a part of the language at times. But we're talking about today, let's say you're a brand new drummer. So if you're a beginner watching this, I would highly encourage you to learn your rudiments for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's a great way to develop your hand technique. Two, I think it's a great way. I'm not going to number everything. I'm just going to tell you what they all are. I think it's a great way to develop your hand technique. I think it's a great way to develop your understanding of subdivisions. So meaning like the different types of notes or rates of hits that we can play inside of one beat, inside of a measure, inside of more measures, more than one measure. So it gives you a greater understanding of your choices rhythmically as a drummer. And then another thing, maybe one of the most musical things it does is it helps us with ideas for phrasing. So for the rhythms we are going to create, whether we're improvising or we're trying to come up with a particular fill in a song that we're working on, or if you're in an original band and you're making some grooves and fills for your songs, these are some patterns, some rhythmic patterns that can give you some ideas for the language of drumming. And then another thing is there is all sorts of these amazingly cool hybrid rudiments, and what that means is there are great drummers and instructors out there who have taken different rudiments and kind of mashed them together and created their own unique hybrids. And that too is a perfect example of developing our phrasing as a drummer. So those are just a couple of reasons why I think, especially for you beginners, why I think it is so important and helpful to learn your rudiments. I really love what studying the rudiments did for my hand technique, especially when I started to get with some amazing teachers here in New York City who showed me the different types of ways to playing the drums with our drumsticks. So meaning diving into studying French grip, American grip, molar technique, these different assets of these different tools of playing and striking your pad, your drum, your cymbals. And when I started to study those aspects of technique, I started to see that kind of bleed into my playing of rudiments and my learning and developing of the rudiments. And I started to see these two things kind of mesh together. And it really changed my drum set playing and snare drum playing and as a whole. So If you're not a beginner and you're an intermediate or maybe even an advanced player, but you've never really dove into the full gamut of rudiments, I think it would be great for you to do. Especially, you know, for you advanced players who've never really dabbled in it, you know, you've already got great chops probably. You've already got great technique, most likely. You can already play, if you're advanced, you can already play so much stuff. But if there are certain rudiments you never checked out before, hey, we're always looking, right, as advanced players for the next new thing to practice. And, you know, some of those, you know, more obscure rudiments might be really cool, and they might give you new creative ideas for your improvisation, for your, you know, if you write drum solos, you know, for your, you know, groove creation in the bands that you're playing in, or the gigs that you may have. So for you advanced players, if you're not aware of, you know, the core kind of like 40-ish rudiments that are out there, you know, you may want to jump into some of those. And you know, if you're a drummer and you're looking to further advance your hand technique, boom, these are just already preset patterns that you have to where you could try, if you're changing your grip from a more fulcrum based grip to a non-fulcrum based grip, these are patterns that are already laid out for you that you could try implementing your new grip. Or if you're trying to implement the molar technique, boom, these are patterns that you could try implementing the molar technique into. So I totally understand the drummers out there. There are amazing instructors and amazing professional drummers, you know, on social media who might say that, well, it's kind of an outdated language. And I understand where they're coming from, and I'm certainly not going to say they're wrong. Many of them are, you know, incredibly accomplished musicians. But I just think that, you know, as an instructor myself, with a lot of, you know, having taught a lot of young students over the years, and in my own personal journey as a drummer, I found that when I dove deep into the rudiments, I just felt like they unlocked, you know, some parts of the language of drumming that maybe I never would have known before. And certainly some of these younger students I have, it just helped speed up their advancement into their own creations on the instrument rhythmically. And it just helped them with the language of drumming and just being able to speak on their instrument more. So these are some things you might consider if you're thinking about rudiments, or if you've kind of been hearing these two different kind of polarizing camps, and you're not sure where to fit into it. I feel like I kind of fit in the middle, you know? If you don't want to do it, totally get it. There's so many things to study on drums. But if you're thinking about it, there's definitely a lot of great things we can take, you know, today, even if we're not playing, you know, music from the 40s or 50s or 60s. So, yeah. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to be doing a series on all the rudiments. So we're going to go through, I think, about 40 rudiments. And I'm going to do a video for each one. I'm going to try to keep them real short so they're easy to just kind of study and, you know, use as practice, tips. And so that's going to be starting this week. So you'll see a playlist section here on YouTube that's literally just titled Rudiments. And we're going to be chipping away at them, starting with single strokes, going into double strokes, and then going through the rest of the families of rudiments. So, all right, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, do all those great YouTube-y things. You know, drop a comment below if you have any questions, or I'd love to know what you think about the rudiments. You know, share that in the comments below. It'd be good for the drumming community here on the DrumShed to engage with everybody and hear everybody's different opinions and ideas. And if you have any further questions, definitely drop a comment. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel and you've enjoyed this video, and maybe you've seen some of my other videos, you know, I would be so grateful if you subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel grow and reach new people. So I'm looking to kind of grow this DrumShed community for all sorts of different type of players, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, to just help grow this awesome instrument for people that maybe were always interested, but were maybe a little nervous about getting into it. So yeah, your support is just incredibly grateful. So all right, that's it. That's what I got for you today. More Rudiments coming very soon. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, have a blessed day. I'll see you soon.